Welcome back to our channel. Today we will be having another classic fairy tale about a cat and his relationship with his master. The Poor Miller's Son. Once upon a time, there lived a poor miller who had 3 sons. When the miller passed away, he left his possessions to his sons. The eldest son received the mill, the middle son received the donkey, and the youngest son received a cat named Puss. The youngest son was initially disheartened. However, it was not an ordinary cat. His name was Puss and he was intelligent and cunning. Puss said to his master, "Please do not cry. Just lend me a pair of boots and a sack and I shall make you happy and rich." The youngest son, deciding to trust the cat, gave him a pair of boots and a sack. He then took his sack filled with rabbits to the king. "Your Majesty, please accept this small gift from my master, the Marquis of Carabas," said Puss. For several days, Puss continued to give gifts to the king. One day, Puss overheard that the king was planning to drive by with his daughter along the riverside. And so, Puss told his master to go to the river and bathe. Following his cat's advice, he went to the river, took off his clothes and bathed. As the king's coach approached the riverside, Puss shouted, "Help! Help! My lord, someone took all of his clothes and left him by the river." The king, who heard the cry, stopped his carriage and asked his men to help him out of the river and get him a new dress. The king, then, offered him a ride. Puss was pleased that it was all according to his plan. Now, Puss had to arrange a big castle for his master. And so, he went to the farmers working in the field and said, "Hey people! If anyone asks you whose field this is, say it belonged to the Marquis of Carabas. If you do, I will kill the ogre that troubles you." Later, when the king's carriage reached the field, he asked the farmers whose field this was. They answered, "It belongs to the Marquis of Carabas." Finally, Puss reached the castle where the scary ogre who terrorized the land lived. Puss said, "I have heard you can change yourself into anything using magic, but I believe it to be a lie." The ogre got angry. "I can prove you wrong," the ogre said. "Just tell me what you want to see." Puss then said, "Can you change into a big animal?" The ogre changed into a big lion. Puss, displaying that he was not amazed, then said, "Okay. But can you turn into a small mouse?" And then the ogre turned itself to a small mouse. At that very moment, having outwitted the ogre, Puss caught it and then ate it. Later, he invited the king into the palace and said, "My king, this is the castle of the Marquis of Carabas." The king is impressed by the supposed marquis and offered his daughter's hand in marriage, who was also in love with him. And so, the youngest son of the poor miller's son, who was now the supposed Marquis of Carabas, and the king's daughter got married and lived happily ever after. The moral of the story often emphasizes the power of intelligence, wit, and clever strategies in overcoming challenges and achieving success, even when starting with humble beginnings. It also highlights the theme of deception and how appearances can be deceiving, showcasing the importance of resourcefulness and quick thinking. If you love this story and wanted to have more fairy tales and other stories, comment down below. Please do subscribe, like and share.